Well, Miss Wendy, thank you for coming on the Red Carpet Roundtable.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Roichi. It's
You're
really
very
nice to
welcome.
meet
Let's
you.
get into the brief detail of tell a little bit about yourself and what got you into the entertainment industry.
Well, okay. Well, I am a native to Southern California. I was raised in Camarillo, California, which is between Ventura, in the Ventura area, maybe Santa Barbara, Thousand Oaks, this kind of thing. So I went to Catholic school there. I grew up in a very like kind of like Catholic town with churches on every corner, and families were still intact in those days. And I went to Catholic school, and then I moved out to Los Angeles to get my teaching degree because even though ever since I was a little kid, I was always part of the choir, the glee club. Every time there was like a show or something, some kind of a school play or a musical, I mean, I could not wait, and I would always try out, and I did some of those. But then my parents said, no, 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 you can't major in theater, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to get my MFA in theater, but they said, no, you can't. You'll probably end up starving, or like work in your, end up living in your car or something. So I'm like, okay, fine, So I ended up going to Cal State Long Beach, and I got my teaching credential. And I also majored in Spanish at the same time because at the time the market was very bilingual. And if you were bilingual like that, you could speak Spanish and English, you would have a higher job, a better chance of getting a job. So then I went to the district and I took a test that day in reading, writing, listening, and speaking, and I passed, and they offered me a contract right then and there. So I was a retired school teacher, so I worked for 30 years, and I just retired this last past school year, the class of 2024, we graduated. And so now that I'm retired, I'm able to go back to acting because as we learn in a little while, we'll find out that my IMDb, when you go on it, it tells a story. It sees that, wait a second, Wendy started getting her credits like in 2006, and then she disappears in 2015, but then now she's got movies and things going on in 2024, 2025. What happened?
Wow, it's so amazing, um, your career so far. And I just first of all, do you miss being a teacher?
Yes and no. I mean, I really miss the real sweetheart kids that would always like draw a picture of me and then a picture of them, and then they'd write phonetically, I love you, and the love would be LUV, and then there'd be little hearts on there, the little hugs, the ones that just love to sit on the carpet in front of me during like phonetics time and to learn the ABC letters and sounds, and then eventually teaching them how to put those sounds together and to be able to start reading. Those
Hmm.
were the kids that I really, really enjoyed. And then of course, like any other job, I mean, it has its drawbacks,
Right, has its moments.
it has its moments. So, there's times where the teacher
Right.
has to wear many
Well,
hats. She has to be the nurse, the psychologist, she has to be the,
hmm
you
well,
know,
congratulations. Pardon me. Congratulations for being a teacher.
thank you very much.
You're
Appreciate
very
that.
welcome. And I'm being honest from the bottom of my heart. And the reason I'm saying that is because I feel like we're not giving enough praises to teachers.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. And
Feels
it's
really
just,
good, and I appreciate that.
yeah,
It's nice to know that hundreds of kids went through me, and now they can read and write. And sometimes when I go to the grocery store, I'll hear my name, Miss Winters, Miss Winters, and I look, and I just kind of look at them. They go, "Remember me? I was in your second grade class," this kind of thing. So anyway, sometimes I do recognize them, sometimes I don't, and then they'll whip out their wallet, and then they'll start showing me pictures of their spouse and their kids, and I feel like this once removed grandma.
well, to be honest, you should be proud of yourself. That it's, I don't know, I can't find the right wording, but I've done the same thing when I've seen my teacher. I said, "Do you remember me?" And they're so happy to see you, doing your things and everything, and it means a lot because that you can tell their expression. They're so happy that their job was completed, and they're so proud. And like they were like, this is the career I chose. I'm proud to be a teacher. I'm proud of all the kids I've taught, right? And it's the moment of memories that you just, you never know, and you never know what's going to happen. And then this is where it comes in where I'm going to say, you never know. You might run into them. They might be an actor in a few years, right?
Oh,
There's,
yeah.
I'm being on. I'm being honest because the careers of students having a dream at a young age, right? There
Yes.
and to be honest, I remember when I was in second grade, and you can't
Mm.
decide what you wanted to be, and you're like, "Ooh, I want to be a doctor," or "Ooh, I want to be a police officer," or
Yeah.
"Ooh, I want to be this," and you're like, "Okay," and all your friends are like, "Yeah, so cool," but in reality, right? And a few years later down the road, they see themselves and they're like, "Wow, I never thought I would be a producer. Never thought I'd be a director. Never thought I actually became a doctor. Or never thought I actually became an actor or an actress or
Yes.
a musician or a singer." And they're going to be sitting there standing and like, wait a minute. I told myself a different career and here I am. So it's,
Wow, you're
it,
right. You never
you
know.
never know. So big shout out to all the teachers out there because it's a big thing out there. I just want to be honest with you, Wendy. I appreciate you being a teacher. I really do from the bottom of my heart. I
It
just want
means
to
a
tell
lot
you
to me,
that.
Marty. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, Miss Wendy, what I want to ask you this question: as being an actress, what is the most challenging role you ever taken so far, and why was it challenging?
Okay. Well, uh, I was actually in a play in Hollywood, and
Mm-hmm.
we rehearsed for 2 months, and then we had shows, ongoing shows for like 2 months. And I played. It was called Happily Ever After, and I played the evil queen. Um,
Okay.
and that was challenging because my regular personality, as my friends can tell you, is I'm kind of like a sweet bunny. Like I'm like I'm really nice. I'm really sweet to all my friends and everything, and I don't have any kind of like malice kind of bone in my body. I don't want to hurt animals, or I hate to even crush bugs. So I mean, this kind of thing. So anyway, so for me to be playing someone that was so awful and doing things to people like poisoning them or different stuff, and I had magical power, so to cast evil spells on them, all that kind of stuff. Although it was lots of fun, it was I had to really dig deep and then when the role was all over, when I was done playing her, even every night, I'd have to really try to like shake her off so I didn't talk like that to people, like condescending and stuff like that. So it's really interesting when you really get into a character, how much it can kind of like change you, influence you, or yeah. So now I know to make sure I stay really nice to people.
Wow. What an interesting role. Um, as being an actress, and for you being in this career, and we all know this. It's not easy busy, right? And your your story and this is coming up to an audition questions. Now, a lot of auditions are becoming, they're still in person, they're also in Zoom. A lot of old traditional, I say old, but a lot of traditional actors who, used to do audition in person, they like it because you can show your personality, you can show everything. Now you have it since the pandemic, and now it's so used to both ways that they like a lot of actors like to have on Zoom. For example, I had an actor, don't quote me, but I had an actor who said that They lived in California. And they can go to different locations, but then they realize, oh, I don't want to be stuck in rush hour and don't miss my appointment. So I just go home and do it on Zoom. So, in your personal opinion, do you personally like it Zoom, or do you believe you like it in person and show your personality and just get it over with? Because I know on Zoom you can just record as many times or do your self tape, and if you make a mistake, oh, I can redo it. Make a mistake, I can redo it. But I know in person you make a mistake, that's it. So what is your opinion and what's your views on this everything?
Well, even though we have to go with the times, because that's how it is these days, self-taping. Me being from the old school, like I say, I mean, I started in 2003, and then I got my first IMDb credit in 2006. So during those days, yes, I had a bag full of quarters, and I was going from meter to meter as I was driving in Los Angeles, and auditioning in person. And I really did like that. Sense of like realness and like real human beings to like
Mm-hmm.
interact with and make connections with. Um, so that was great. And also, I do want to interject and say that at that time too, actors that lived in the local Los Angeles area were the ones that were auditioning, right? Because you have to drive there in person. There wasn't like hundreds of thousands of people auditioning like on self-tape, like from all the other 50 states, like there is now, which I'll fast forward to.
Mm-hmm.
So the chances of getting a part, a role, was a lot more in our favor. I think sometimes I would be, just depend on the month, sometimes I would get like maybe eight, no, I would, out of every 10 auditions, I would book like at least two or three. So nowadays it's like, that percentage has really, really gone down, not only for
Really?
myself, I've talked to so many colleagues, but it's a lot less. And my agent was saying this, and it's because you don't have to live in Los Angeles anymore. You can live in any state. You can live in Kentucky and then go ahead and submit for a role, have a local agent there or self-submit. And then um, if you get a cast in it, then these companies are now already budgeting to fly
Okay.
people
Mm-hmm.
out. And then, of course, we have a lot of actors now have learned how to work the system where they're local hires um, everywhere. So there's just a lot more competition. But I would say, though, that even though it's much harder these days because the actor has to have many hats, like I've had to learn how to like be my own director. I had to buy my studio here with, my lights, and you have to know all the framing and all the stuff that we didn't have to worry about back in the day, right? You just show up and, action, you do your thing and then you go. But like you said earlier, you only really got one opportunity,
Right.
sometimes twice, maybe if you were lucky. But I guess nowadays, I mean, you can do it as many times as you want, like you said. And I actually think as we all get used to it, and I'm getting used to it since I've been back now for about a year now. Um, I'm gonna say now I actually probably do prefer to do my own self tapes only because you can give yourself as many chances
Okay.
as
Mm-hmm.
you want.
That's good. I like hearing both sides, and hearing the self tapes and then also doing it in person as well. So, and you're also right that I think Zoom auditions great for a lot of actors who don't live in close enough to do fly from to LA or fly to New York or wherever
Yeah,
to
that's
do the
right.
audition, you know? Um, a lot of people must be wondering, what is your why? Why are you doing this?
Oh, okay. Well, I've always been a creative type of person. So, and the fine arts has always called my name. So I've always been involved, like I said, in musicals and plays since I was younger. I loved when the teacher had art time. I mean, I love all mediums of art from, sculpture to painting. I still paint when I get a chance. I love to draw and sketch. Um, I like to sing. Not that I'm the best singer or anything, so but just all these different forms of right-brained dominant activities and stuff like that. That's where I really am, and that's where I've always been. I only became a teacher because my parents, were just saying, you need a backup, because it can be kind of risky, to be an actor, especially in the beginning. So they didn't want that for me, and I'm really glad that my parents did that for me. Um, so, but yeah, my why is because I like to be creative. I like to create things. So for
Hmm.
me, I feel like a painter when I get a scene. I love to kind of like map it out in my mind, envision where everything is. I love not the make believe, but I mean, I like the like, you make you get into like, you imagine the
Right,
circumstances right there,
right.
wherever you are and everything, and the people that you're talking to. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it's just an artistic form for me, and I love it, and I'm addicted to it. So after a couple of weeks, if I don't do it, but no, I always do something towards my
Hmm.
career every day. But if I know when I've gone on vacation for a few days, I'll get antsy. It's like it's a part of my life that's missing.
That's amazing. This is what you always wanted to do. This was your dream. This was your passion, and that's
Yep.
what I love to hear. True, I really love to hear that because if you don't have a passion of in acting, then why do it? That's what I say, and I say to every my guest, like, gotta have passion because you gotta love what you're doing.
Hmm.
That's the key.
You're right. Otherwise, it's going to really seem like work. Even though
Yeah.
it is a lot of work, but I'm just saying that you're right. Without the passion part of it, I mean, I don't think you could really last. I mean, if you're doing it like for the money or the fame or any of those reasons, I mean, good luck, but I just don't think the thread of the core and thread of happiness will be there. Because let's face it, there's been so many really great legendary actors that were not like happy in the end, and they had all this money, all this property, right, living at the top of the hill. I mean, they had everything, and they still like either took their life or you know
Hmm.
what I mean? So yeah, you have to really, really love it.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
like me, I love what I'm doing. So, you gotta love what you're doing, right? I had to put that out there to brag about that.
well,
But
please brag because you're very good at it.
well, I really appreciate it. I really do, from the bottom of my heart, because I love what I'm doing. I love meeting new actors from the top, from A list, B list. I love hearing people's stories, what got them into the entertainment industry,
Sure.
and that's what I love when I'm doing this. So I really appreciate you saying that from the bottom of my heart. I really do.
Yeah, I wish
Um,
you lots of luck on your show.
well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, any upcoming projects that you're working on that you're allowed to talk about?
Oh, well, yeah, there's one that I can talk about. I have a fantasy movie coming up. I think we'll probably start filming it next month in August. And that's all I can really say. But and so I'm really looking forward to that. I like fantasy. So that's one kind of fun, especially if you get to be put in some kind of really cool weird outfit, and then your makeup's all like almost like Star Wars creatures and stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's kind of fun to be to be in those. And but I don't know if I'm going to be a producer on this one or not, because I'm sure you know that I'm also a co-producer. I've been since I've come back. I wasn't a producer back in the days, my first time around,
Right.
from 2003 to 2015, but now that I've come back, I have been dabbling with that, doing co-producer stuff, from paperwork and the call sheets to the, anything that, needs to be done on set and make sure that it happens, like feed a whole crew by, a couple hours. Okay, there's 20 people here and you need to have lunch here by 1 o'clock. I mean, all this kind of stuff, so it's been a great learning curve for me. Last year, I co-produced 4 independent feature films, and you can see all of them streaming on Amazon Prime, Fossum TV, Tubi TV.
Okay.
Um, these kind of things you can go and get your popcorn out and then
Get your
watch it. I hope I
popcorn.
don't bore you guys though.
No, that'd be amazing. Everybody needs to check out Miss Wendy's projects and films. And Miss Wendy, what is the most pivoted moment in your acting career so far?
Okay, well, I think most pivoted, if I'm pivoting, that was been the um trying out the producer route. Like I said, so I was like, okay, great. And then also, you know what, when I'm not in front of the camera, with my whatever roles I have there, it's nice that I can then hop on a project, and be and help produce it,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
which is a lot of fun. And then my new pivot, excuse me, also is as I'm getting into voiceovers, and I'm really loving that. I love doing all the character, stuff, changing your voice for, to match certain characters and stuff. It's really fun. It's cute. It's hard work too. I mean, anything you're gonna do and put quality work into it, it's going to be hard work, but it really pays all these pay off, and so I'm looking forward to that. I'm just trying to keep busy.
Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so proud. Let's go into this is a teacher question, and I know you were a teacher, okay? And
Okay.
um, a lot of young actors who want to get into the entertainment industry,
Hmm.
6 years old, maybe to, I'm going to say, we're still with little kids, all the way to middle school. Um, they want to get into the entertainment industry. And this is, you're a teacher, so you're help. The reason I'm asking this, first of all, you're a lot of parents who want to get their kids into the entertainment industry. So so the, for example, if their kids want to get into the entertainment industry, what is your advice? Would you put their children, if they were asked, would you advise to put their kids in acting school? What is your views and what's your opinions?
Okay. So, um, I think that first of all, if it's like a high schooler, I would be like, you know what, try it out in drama class, or one of those extracurricular groups that meet and see if you like it. I guess try it and see if you like it. But I'm thinking that probably these kids, I guess maybe just innately or something, they just kind of know that that's what they're drawn to, like I was, and probably love again art, drama, theater at
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
school, and then but so what I would advise the parents on that is to, yeah, you know what, sign them up, just like instead of like soccer or something, or in addition to soccer, is to, yeah, find an after school or weekend drama program for
Okay.
kids, and they offer them all
Mm-hmm,
over the
mm-hmm.
place, and see how the kids think and feel about that. I would definitely do that though before I would even start buying, like going to a photographer and getting, putting money into headshots
Okay.
and
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff. I think, they should have go through a program of at least a few months to see if this is something that they really, really like. And then they can just keep advancing through the levels. And then at that point, they can, if they want to take it to the next step, they can always talk about getting an agent once they've film some clips of themselves. You need to have some really good clips where, like, you're by yourself, but you have a reader and you're doing different characters, or if you're gonna, or scenes to tape a lot of scenes. There's places that'll tape them for you for a certain cost, or you could just get your phone. These days, the
Mm-hmm.
phones are, as you know, the phones are great these days, and they'll make a little movie and just get a lot of scenes, because you really have to have your materials first, though,
Right.
before you get an agent or a manager. But that's definitely where I would tell them to start, is to enroll them, like anything else, an art class or whatever it is into like some kind
Amen.
of theatrical school. Yeah.
That's very good advice. I just had to ask that question. I ask almost
Mhm.
every guest that question because,
Oh yeah.
yes, because, it's a good way because a lot of these kids who, be researching or, watching, and then the parents may be researching, and trying to find out what should I do? I'm looking for advice, and finding somebody who's in the entertainment industry, for example, like
Mm.
yourself, or, trying to hear what's what's the right direction to do.
Ah, well, I think social media sites are helpful in this way. I'm not advocating or saying anything either way about like having children having like Instagram accounts and stuff. I mean, that's up to the personal, that's up to the family and stuff and the parents. But I'm just saying that what I'm saying is that they can go into if the parent has an Instagram account or whatever, it's so easy as you know to just go into the search bar and type up child acting schools or production companies,
Mm-hmm.
where they can film those scenes. Also, acting coaches. I mean, and I will continue to. I always work at least once a week privately with my private coach,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
to
by the
always.
way, you're right. I researched one time to look at acting coaching, and you're right. It's a lot that shows up.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to cut you off there. I'm sorry, but
No,
you're
no,
right.
no, no. I'm listening.
Yeah, you're right. There is a lot. And also, you can specify location. So you can say California, San Francisco, Phoenix, Albuquerque, and you'd be like, wow, there's so many. So you're right. That's a good way. I think that everyone should do that. So,
And let me just say, for the families that are out there, anybody listening, or the young actor in the family or something, I mean, you're free to contact me. Just my Instagram page, which I'm sure that you're gonna probably end up posting and stuff, is at Wendy Winters Show. I'm so happy to guide you in any way that I possibly can. It's my pleasure.
yes, please, please reach out to Miss Wendy on that. Um, I'm being serious because a lot of young actors, they always look up and like, they're like, I want to give it a shot. I want to try it, and I always say, if this is your dream, go for it. We all live once, all right? We don't want to, I always say, don't want to go down the road in 5 years and then realize, oh no, I just closed the 5 years door behind me and I
Yeah.
regretted it. Then you have to walk backwards, open the 5 year doors and start where you want to be
Hmm.
and then start, going and be an actor and audition. So I always say, pursue your dream, go down the road, don't look back. Go for it because it's a challenge. It's a challenge. Auditions are challenge. You're gonna get a lot of no's. Keyword no's before you get a lot of yes.
That boy, ain't that the truth? My middle name has become No. I'm Wendy No Winters. No.
But it's the truth. You're going to get a lot of no's before you get a lot of yes. And
Hmm.
and I'm not. I tell everybody, and a lot of actors who I've talked to who's been on my show, they've said the same thing. A lot of no's, but you're going to get a yes. And don't be discouraged when you get a lot of no's. It doesn't mean you're not good enough. Doesn't mean you're this. Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean that. You probably weren't fit for that role. But I always tell remember because those other actors, those other actresses, the producers and directors they was in that room, they're gonna remember you. Because if they're looking for somebody and they're like, hey, by the way, you're looking for somebody who can play this role. I know an actress. She was there, but she may be it. This is Miss Wendy. Contact her. Oh, really? Yeah, please contact her. She was in that audition 2 weeks ago. Contact her. Here's her little tape. And they'd be like, oh, wow, let me go look at it. And you get contacted and you never auditioned for the role. And you're like, hey, we were interested in doing this. Oh, but I didn't know I was, what? I don't know anything about it. But it's good news because you have the connection already starting. Just show up, have a big smile, make some
Hmm.
friends, and go for it. Even if it's a no, it's okay. Smile knowing you made friends. Key word. Always shake hands, make friends with the producers and directors, everybody, and leave there smiling. And I always tell people, give away your Instagram. It doesn't matter if it's a yes or no because hey, follow me, I'll follow you. Because If they, you never know. Then you never know. They'll be like, "Hey, follow this person. We're looking for this person." Then you get contacted, and they're like, "Hey, we want you on this role." And you're like, "Wow,
That can't hurt.
really?" So I
I
just
like that.
wanted
And
to
you
say
gain a
that.
friend. I like when you said that about, you can you make friends and that yeah, that's really, really nice. Well
Yeah,
said. Well said, Raichi. Yeah, I mean,
because
uh,
you know, a lot of people say, you can be funny, you can be fun, but you got to take it serious, right? And
yeah.
make friends. That's the key thing. We have to make friends. We're not against each other. Everybody is
No.
auditioning. I hear it. I hear everybody. You are auditioning. Everybody's auditioning. We understand. Everybody is auditioning for something, right? In
Mm-hmm.
that room or on
Mm-hmm.
set or not that. But in
Yes.
reality, you're a family, and when we're on set, you're on set with these fellow actors
Yeah.
and actresses and directors and producers and have to say this, the film crew or TV show. And the reason I
Mhm.
say film crew, I'll get into that. But your family, you may be on set for 2 or 3 weeks, and you
You're right.
all will not get enough sleep, will not get enough hours, and
Yep.
you want to make jokes, you want to laugh and have fun because at the end of the day, when the film or TV show's over, you're all gonna be like, wait a minute, this is it? It's over? We became a family. We became what? And you get contacted and you want to see each other, you want to have dinner and all this stuff. That is
Well,
what you want to remember.
that does happen. That's
100%. And
happened to me
now
so many times.
the film crew. I always to brag about this. When we go
Okay.
see a movie in a movie theater, when we watch a TV show, my big TV shows, Great Anatomies, Criminal Minds, I love those shows. But anyways,
Oh, okay.
yes, but when
Awesome.
we watch these shows, we like, oh wow, these actors are doing great. And I do agree. They're doing amazing. Fabulous,
Hmm.
you know. But I always tell myself, don't forget the film crew, the lighting
Right.
crew,
Right.
the camera
Right.
crew, the sound crew, because you have to realize if one light person's not there, one sound person's not there,
Mm,
the film can't be made, the TV show can't be made.
that's
So
right.
I just want to let the audience know that please, give credit to everybody on
Yes.
set because they're all giving their hours. They're all giving their hours. And I just feel like that, you know, I always stay at the very end of the movies on purpose. I'm probably the last one in the movie theater because
To see the
I read
credits.
every line, every name, every name. I'm serious
I do
because
too.
because that way I'm giving my heart to them. Say, hey, I
Okay.
acknowledge your name. I acknowledge your name. You were the film crew. I acknowledge your name. I acknowledge you. That's the key.
Oh, that's
I
great.
acknowledge you.
Yeah, because without them, you don't have a movie. You got to
No.
remember, without them, I'm sorry, but you're not going to
Yeah.
have a movie. So it's good to appreciate them. That's great that you're giving them a shout out.
Yes.
I love that because they're just as important as
Hmm.
the lead in the movie. They're just as important.
Right. That's why I always tell myself when I see everybody's names, especially the film crew, the sound, the music, I always tell myself, acknowledge them. Acknowledge them.
Yes.
Acknowledge them. And I say it 3 times because it's important. We must acknowledge them. Everybody we must acknowledge. Same thing with the TV show, even though the name's not on there, but acknowledge because the crew, the camera crew, everybody, all the actors and directors, you're not seeing the directors, you're not seeing the producers,
Right.
acknowledge everybody that's on the film and the TV show
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
they're all family. They're all family how they make these films and TV shows, So big shout out to them because it's very, very important
Yes.
because you don't see their faces much, but it's important that we talk about it. So,
I agree. And even casting directors and stuff, I feel like
yes.
they don't even get
No.
what they deserve for, they're the ones that put together that outstanding ensemble cast.
Mm-hmm.
What about them? I think there should be an award, and at the award shows, for casting directors, I think they're talking about maybe getting that going because it's long overdue.
Yes,
You know,
100%.
they work
Me
hard.
personally, the whole film crew and the TV show crew should be doing it too. So,
Uh, There you go. Absolutely. So hopefully it will be
yes,
going on.
hopefully.
Gotta push for that.
I just wanted to give that out to again. So, and it's very
Thank you.
important we talk about it. So,
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, whenever I'm on set, I just say hello to everyone. I don't care what
yes,
you're the assistant,
yes.
if you're the PA, if you're the you say hello because it's really nice
Yeah,
to
because you got to acknowledge them. You don't want to be on set and say,
uh,
"Okay, action," and you're like, "Okay, bye." Wait. No, I'm being
what's your
honest
name?
because you just want to
Right.
go on there and make friends and
Mhm.
acknowledge them
Uh,
because you want to be acknowledged. You want to feel, I don't know, for me, not I don't want to say important, but you want to be acknowledged. You don't want to be like there's not like invisible wall there just holding a camera. That's one thing I
right.
want to say.
Right. That's a living, breathing human being who
Hmm.
deserves to be yeah, to be noticed and
Yeah,
praised for what
because
they do. Oh,
you never know you are probably making their day. True. They may be having a bad day, and if you smile and have a friendly conversation, they're gonna be happy and they're like, "Oh wow, this person made my day. Okay, I'm having a good day."
yes. Yeah, that's true. That happens all the time, even with
Hmm.
me. If I have a small role on a set or something and people come up and they, want to say hello and stuff like that or take an interest in me, it feels really good. Yeah, Roy, gee, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and that's the truth. I just wanted to
Isn't it
give
the
that.
truth?
I just wanted to give that out there because this is the conversation we need to have a conversation about, and me personally,
You.
and I also, I'm a big mental health advocate, and I
Okay,
just want to say that
good.
mental health is important. Everybody, we don't know anybody's stories. And so
Right.
it's important to acknowledge people. It's important to say hi to people. It's important to see how they're doing. It's important to say, hey, let's have coffee. Or, hey, I'm
Mm,
off today on a Saturday. Do you want to meet for coffee for 30 minutes? You want to go have lunch for 30 minutes? Hey, you want to go see a movie? I may have seen it already, but I'm going to go see it again with you. Let's go. I mean,
okay.
I don't, it's because they're going to say, wow, I'm acknowledged. You're noticing me. So, yeah, I'm acknowledging you. Or, you'd be like, you have that, you just want to call your acting friends or your regular friends, say, hey, I just want to check up on you. And I just say, hey, if you female friends or
Yes.
a guy friend, you just say, hey, you need to cry, cry. I'll be quiet. I won't put myself on mute, but go ahead and cry. Cry as long as you can. I'm here for you. When you're
That's
done
really
crying, we can
beautiful.
talk about what happened. If you want me to come over and you want to watch a movie and you want to cry the whole entire time and tell me what happened, you can. But you are acknowledging them. That's the thing.
That's
Acknowledging.
beautiful. That's
So
really beautiful. Yeah. Hi, let's hope and pray that, the world can definitely, spin in that direction. We really, really need that. We need to stop and, like you said, be
yes.
kind to each other, acknowledge each other, love one another,
Mm-hmm. Amen.
respect one another. Yeah.
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 I just want to talk about that part, but very
I'm
important, very
glad you
important.
did.
So,
Mhm.
um, what what is your sorry, correction, my brain froze. Who is your dream actor or actress who you want to work with on set and why?
Yes, okay. Well, I have a few, but if I was to pick one, uh, I I think it would be great fun to work with um with Jennifer Coolidge.
Okay.
I really like her style, and she makes me laugh, and she's so bold with her choices and being all out there and stuff. And when I do comedy, I like to do, kind of put myself a little bit out there too. It's risky, but it's really fun. But yeah, I'm a fan of hers, and I know I would just be like, Oh, Jennifer. No, I know that. No, I would just love to do some kind of like scene with her. You know what would be really cool is if her and I, if we were in the same comedy and we were nuns or something.
Oh, okay, yes.
That would be great.
I I didn't expect you to say her, but she's a good actress. She is. Um, what is the best advice you ever heard or received?
To never give up, to keep going.
Amen.
Yep, to keep going. Here, wait.
High five.
Five. Yeah, never give up. There'll be days, that are dark and you feel like no one's acknowledging you, and you feel like, you're not getting any work, etc. But I'm telling you, your turn will come up. We're all individuals, unique to the point that you're going to be the chosen one for a part. Let those parts come to you. So that's what I do now. I just, manifest. I, put it out there and stuff, and let the roles find me. And in the meantime, I'm always in class, or, I'm working with my coaches. I'm doing whatever I can in the meantime to be ready, because as we all know, preparation um, plus an opportunity equals success. So you just got to be ready.
Hmm. That's true. Never give up. Amen to
Never.
that. I totally agree. My last question. What
Mm.
would you tell a 7-year-old Wendy? What would you tell yourself?
Of, you know what? You can be whoever you want to be. You can dream as large as you want to. Um, Use your imagination as much as you can. Try things out. Experiment as much as you can. Role play. Um, do everything in your power. If you know what it is that you want to be, then start working at it. You can start. It's great. You can work at it at seven years old. Get little plays together with your friends, or enroll in the play at your elementary school. Ask mom to enroll you in classes. I would just say, start dreaming now and dream big and work at it. Just keep working at it. Put one foot in front of the other, and you'll eventually get to your destination.
Amen. I like that. Thank you. Um, Sorry to make you pause there in the beginning.
It's okay.
Where, and everything you said was absolutely true. Don't give up. Go for it, and everything we discussed about acknowledge the film crew, acknowledge everybody on set, TV show, film crew, the directors, the producers, the casting crew, everybody is what I'm glad we talked about. I'm glad that everybody, the audience, that's why I that's makes me happy, that we're acknowledging them. I'm acknowledging them. Everybody's ignoring them because, I feel like we are not, and I'm bringing this up again, I apologize, but we are not. And I just want to say we need to. It's important. And we
Yes.
have to. We just have to because, everybody leaves a movie there and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's amazing," and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Yes, it was." But, let's don't forget the crew. Don't forget the casting crew. Don't forget the director. Don't forget the film set. Don't forget the TV show set, and
Yeah.
that's that's what we need to remember. Very important. So, I just wanted to say that again. So I appreciate you talking about it as well. So,
Thank you for bringing it up. That is very, very important.
yes. Um,
We-
where can people find you on social media?
Okay, so with my Instagram, um, the @ symbol Wendy Winters Show. You can also find me on Facebook under Wendy Winters. Um, I am, of course, on all the other, websites like, IMDb. You can type in IMDb and have a
Mm-hmm.
little fun with that and see what I've been up to and what I'm doing going forward. Um, and you can find my emails and stuff like email information and everything on those sites. And I look forward to people coming across my page and saying hi, especially if you saw this interview. I would love it if you stopped by and said hello and can have a little chat. And I want to thank you so much, Roy G, for having me on your show. I mean, this was truly an honor, and I, I, I I'm just ecstatic. I mean, you really made my week, and I'm glad that you're covering topics that are so important, like we talked
Hmm.
about tonight. So I really appreciate you for that, and and having me on your show. So
Yeah,
thanks.
you're very
Yeah.
welcome. And please stay in touch. I would love to have you back on sometime again soon.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'd love to chat with you again.
Yes, and talk about your upcoming films that you already done, and we can discuss it more. I would love to have you back and have you talk more about them.
Oh, well, thank you. Now we both have something to look forward to.
Yes, thank you very much, Wendy, and I will talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you. Good
You're
night.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.